Hello, world, and welcome to the Mecca of Mastery TV. I am your host, Mecca. If it is your mission to become the greatest version of yourself in every area of life, then you are in the right place. I'm so excited about this episode, as I say in every video, apparently, because in this episode we are speaking about personal and spiritual development. And the topic of this video is how to naturally kill depression. Let's get straight into the video. Whew. Okay, come on now. We all been there. Depression sucks. Whether you had been depressed for a month, a few months, a year, some years, a week, a day, a few days, 3 minutes, right? It sucks, right? When you are down, when you feel like there's no life, it doesn't matter if it's sunny outside, if you have, $10,000 in the bank. It doesn't matter if you have every Chanel bag that's hanging up on the wall. It doesn't matter if you can go and just buy whatever you want. Depression is something that all of us experience, whether you are rich, you are poor, you are black, blue, brown, white, yellow, tan, whatever. Depression, right? When you are down, let me tell you what depression is, though. This is what most people don't realize. Depression is a lack of living when it boils down to it. And basically, also, it's a lack of accepting your present moment or your present reality. Let me take you back. So I used to live in London, United Kingdom, for about 3.5 years. Before I moved to London, I was an exotic dancer for 7 years. Now you could imagine, me being an exotic dancer for 7 years. I lived a certain lifestyle, and I didn't work at any type of club. I worked at like one of the best clubs in America. So things were quite good for me financially. So when I decided to leave the strip club, I moved to a different country where I know nobody. I have no money, okay? You could just imagine what my brain was doing. Going absolutely bananas. Like absolutely bananas. My brain was just not having it. And so what happened was, it was such a drastic change that my brain cannot fully cope with. And that real time, as quick as possible, that the result of that was depression. So sometimes the reason why we fall into depression as well is because we have so many drastic changes that happen in our life, or just transformation in general, that your brain have yet to accept because it's not your normal. Because remember what the brain is. Our brain is to protect us, right? We feed things to our brain over and over, right? It's like a bank. Like the more you give it to it, it starts to remember, right? The brain is like a computer system. It's like a human computer system. The brain only operates out of what you feed to it constantly. So if you have been living your life or doing something one way, okay, and you've been telling your brain this is the way, and then all of a sudden automatically it's just like a drastic change, of course all the organs in your body going to start acting up. Your nervous system is going to be acting up. The brain is not going to know what signals to even push or do anything because it's not in its environment or anything. And depression is the result of that. So if that may be you or somebody that you know in that situation, because I was in that situation, okay? Here's the key to that. Let it happen. I know you're like, what? Let it happen. When you are depressed, guess what? You have to let the feelings pass through you so you can face them, and so your brain and your nervous system can get used to this new way of being or whatever this new reality is. So let's say that you were married, okay, and you got a divorce. And you know how most marriages are. When you get a divorce, your whole life changed, especially if you was well off or the other person was well off, and financial things change. And soon as you split, your life changed. Now let's say you were the man that got divorced and you had the finances in the relationship, okay? It's now that you got a divorce, she done took half your money, your house, your car, got some business assets and everything. Now, okay, the way you feel, your reality is different, okay? And this is the truth. It's a fact that your reality is different because you don't have what you had last week. It's not the same thing. So guess what? You have to allow the feelings to pass through and accept what the present reality is so you can improve it. The reason why we stick in depression longer, okay, and we stay in that space and that energy longer is because we don't accept what the present reality is. This is not saying that you accept it and say, I give up, I'm not going to try. Accepting something is saying, listen, this is what it is. It is what it is. There's nothing that I can do about this, right now. Like, this is the energy of it. This is the energy, okay? But in order for me to change it, I have to have energy. That means I can't complain about it. I can't go towards it without a level of reverence and love. I can't be so angry and frustrated, because you're just going to drain more and more energy, and that just take you deeper into a hole of depression. So really, the number one thing when it comes to depression, okay, is first allowing it to go. Allowing it to just pass through. Allowing yourself to feel the feelings. Because sometimes what we feel when we're depressed is things that we need to feel, because it's things that we probably push down inside of us, and they rise to the surface. And when you can finally face them, it can be something that will transform or change your life, or something that you have been doing, or haven't been doing, that's been blocking you from evolving. That is one. That's the number one key. Secondly, if you don't have those situations where maybe you didn't have a drastic life change that caused you to be depressed, or your brain had to operate this way one day and next week is something totally different. Now, let's say you're depressed from just normal stuff, okay? Having to go to work and be around people you don't want to be around, okay? Going through a breakup, okay? Not feeling as if you have the money that you should have, not being able to do the things that you want to do, eat what you want to eat, just the normal everyday obstacles. Now that is because we are perceiving life different in our minds than what the reality is. And it kind of tied back into what I just said, right? It's accepting it. Sometimes we are depressed because we look at our life in lack. We look at our life as if we should be somewhere else, or we're living and trying to go throughout our day-to-day activities, but wishing we were somewhere else, or in another relationship with somebody else. Like, you probably in a relationship and you got problems in your current marriage or your relationship now, okay? But instead of focusing on working on those problems, you're imagining and thinking about how life could be with somebody else. Of course, that's going to make you depressed. And why do I say that? Because I've done that plenty of times, in a relationship that I ended. Every time I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, it's not that bad today. We have to hang out. We're going to do stuff. Why do I feel so shitty and I feel lost? Because I'm sitting here at dinner with the man thinking about somebody else as if he should be somebody else sitting there. Instead of enjoying his company, even though I might not like it fully, even though I'm working to get out of it, instead of enjoying that moment with just a human being, detaching myself away from him being my partner, and then I can enjoy it and still keep my energy to work on getting out of it. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes you're depressed because everything that you're trying to do in life, or everything you're trying to go towards, right, is not in alignment with your life right now. You have to look at your values as well. Right? Are you living in alignment with your true values? Because if you're not, that's going to make you depressed as fuck. Real talk. If you say A and you do B, okay, that's not in alignment with your values. If your value is A and this is B, but you're doing B, you're going to feel depressed because you're not living in alignment with A. If A is your true values. Here's an example. If you have a value of never cheating, okay? If that's one of your values, but you're unhappy, there's an unhappy patch or just an ending of a relationship that you are in, but you happen to be a person who's, filled with integrity, value, that's valuable to you, integrity, and not cheating. But then, because you're not happy in your present relationship, you go and cheat. Even though it feels good to be with the other person and whoever that you're cheating with, and you're going out and they're giving you time and attention, and you doing that little 5-year-old love birds in the nest, you know how it is when you like somebody, you feel depressed even though that feels good because you're going against your values. So a lot of the reasons, the third reason why you might be depressed as well, is because you're not in alignment with your values. And sometimes, it doesn't take anything external for us to stay in alignment with our values. And what I mean by that is, some people think that they have to have something happen in their life first in order for them to live in alignment with their values. So let's say, for example, family is something that is very valuable to me. But I live in Florida by myself with no family. Even though I live in the state of Florida by myself with no family, and my family is in a whole nother state, that does not mean that I have to wait till I get a house here and my finances is better here in order for me to, spend time more with my family to make it a value. No, I can do things differently. Make sure I write them on a daily basis. Make sure that I'm texting, emailing them, that we're in a group chat, that I'm keeping them updated with my life, that when I do visit home, that I have activities with my family, that I'm checking in, that I go home for holidays, that still stay with my values. I don't have to wait for something external to change in my life for me to live in alignment with my values. Now, it might not be exactly how I want it to be, because of course I will probably want to see them once or twice a week, like that, or a few times a month, or do family vacations. I can't do that at the moment, but that still should not stop me from being somewhat in alignment with my values. And there's levels to it, right? Just like it's levels to you becoming authentic, right? You can live in alignment and be your authentic yourself, that high value, that high nurturing part of yourself, that real, that non-egoic part of yourself. But you might be in the matrix still a little bit, right? So you probably can't live that life how you want to. You probably can't go out and do 2-hour cardio runs and shit like that. You probably can only do 30 minutes because you still have things to do, but it still should not stop you from at least tapping into the power of what your true values is. Because true values are things that are internal anyway. A real value has nothing to do with stuff that's external. We get the two confused, right? We might think it's a value to have a big house. That's not a value. That's a want. That's a want. That's not a value. Things that you come in this world already enough and whole as an individual without anything that you gain. You don't have to gain anything to be happy. So that as well, if you look into your values, if you are living in alignment with your values, think about every area of your life. Are you living in alignment with your spirituality, with relationships, both impersonal, personal, family, with your finances, with your career, with, your recreation, your fun, your relaxation, fashion, whatever. And I want to say this and make this very clear. Depression pills does not work. I'll say it again. I'll say that again. Depression pills does not work. They make you worse. Look at the commercials. Oh, you're feeling like this about life. Get this depression pills. May cause blindness, loss of appetite, make you want to go out, murder somebody, kill somebody, slit their throat. Really? You think that's going to work for you? That's going to make you happy by taking a pill? Oh my God, if it was really that easy in life. No, get out, laughter, pets, family, people, doing something outside of yourself. Sometimes the reason why we might be depressed because of what you're putting in your body. Your cells and your nervous system is going like, what is going on? Because you're not feeding your body right. Everything is shutting down that makes you depressed. What you putting into your body? Are you getting enough vitamin D3, the sun? Okay? Our bodies are made of 70% of water. Are you drinking enough water? First of all, you have to take care of yourself from a whole point of view. This is no game. This is no game. That's why here at Mecca Mastery TV, we don't just talk about one thing. It's about all things because everything is interconnected. I can't just talk about health or talk about finances and then talk about this. Everything will affect each other. It's a whole thing. You can't just have one piece of you good and all the other parts is just like blah, blah, blah. You can't be a great person and be an intentional person and just think because your health is not good, you know what I'm saying, and your relationship's not good that you're going to be okay and your life is going to be happy and you're going to wake up and feeling like euphoric. No, it doesn't work like that. We all have to work on every part of our lives to be a whole person. Now, it's different for all people, but we all supposed to be whole. It's a circle. Whole. What goes around comes around. It's connected. Figure 8. Connected. And with that being said, I hope you love this video and you share this with somebody you care about, because we always say here at Mecca Mastery TV that sharing is caring. Want one-on-one coaching or simply just to say hello or ask for advice, email me at meccabookings@gmail.com. Make sure that you stay updated with me. I want to be nosy in your life when it comes to all the social media stuff. I'm on Instagram and I was about to say YouTube. This is YouTube. I'm on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and things like that. So make sure you follow me. And I love you. I want to send my light to you, my peace and tranquility. And I always say here, don't you never allow anyone to tell you that you can't do anything, because you can do whatever you put your mind to. I'm sending you love, light, and peace. Until next time, I see you in the next episode. Peace.